Welcome back, Gaming with King family, to another F1 Clash video. In today's video, you guys have been asking me, Gaming with King, how can I find my best setup for the GP events? And in today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys how to find your best setup and why is the reason you want to use your best setup in the GP events. And basically, you can use different setups in duels, as duels are a bit different from GP events. All right, so first off, what are duels? Duels are you racing against another rival to win the race. So if you beat your next rival, as long as you're in front of your rival, you basically win. It doesn't matter if you're finishing in P1 or you're finishing in P20, as long as your cars are in front of your rival's cars, you win. So that's a duel. All right, now GP events is totally different. GP events, you're racing against every single car on the grid. You're racing to score points. So the fact that you're racing in GP events to score points makes it a lot different from what you do in duels, because duels you're just racing against your rival. All right, now in duels you can use various setups. You could go for fast pit time, you could go for high cornering, you could go for max speed, you could go for max reliability, high power unit, you could go whatever you want to go in duels. Whatever you want to do in duels, you do it, because you're just racing against your rival. So it's who has the best setup in terms of there. But in the GP events now is where it gets a little bit tricky, and where a lot of you guys are not being able to qualify, because you probably are using the same mindset and the same strategies or the same setups that you're using in your duels for your GP events, when that's not the case. All right, so for 2023, Hutch added in I've already qualified in the GP events, but if I was not qualified and I was on the selection menu here for the GP, you would see a team score at the top of each GP. So I think it's 700 for Challengers GP, 1000 for Contenders GP, and 1500 for Champions GP. All right, so those are the team score that's recommended by Hutch for you to run in those events. Now, you can do Champions GP with a lot less than 1500 and make it to the finals, but you just need to get your settings right. Now, for your drivers, how to find your best drivers in the game. Hutch has made it. Previous years it was the drivers with the most pluses, but Hutch has made it a little bit simpler for us this season, and I think going forward it's going to remain that simple. So now all you need to do is look at the drivers that gives you the most team score. All right, because team score, the highest team score you could possibly get in the GP events, is the best setup you want. All right, as long as you can maximize your team score in the GP events, that's all you want to do. All right, so here we have Leclerc and Verstappen, or two highest series drivers, but we have a level 5 Alonso here, and as you can see, our level 5 Alonso has more pluses than Verstappen. So if we put him on, we should see an increase in team score, and there he goes, our team score went up. If we should take out Charles Leclerc, for example, who has a lot more minus, or team score will be going down, so that would not be the ideal setup to run for our GP event. So we're going to be putting back on for Leclerc here, and as you can see, our team score has increased. Now, once you've maximized your team score on your driver's side of things, you want to go over to your car and basically do the same thing. So you want to look for your strongest car part that you have. You want to look for your strongest engine. For me, my strongest engine is the Rover, but let's so for an example, if we put on the brute force here, that increases our team score. So that brute force level 7 is better than the Avalanche level 4, even with the 10% buff. But if you look at the Rover, which is the best part for my engine, you see a lot more pluses, and if we put that on, you see our team score increasing again. Now we find the maximum part for our engine, so no other part is going to increase our team score from the rover. It's just going to be decreasing it from there, so you want to move on to the next part. Now the horizon is the best part for me, but let's say we put on this part, which is better than that part. You can see the team score was increased. All right, now if we put on the horizon, which is a lot more pluses, you will see the team score going up again. All right, so I have my Zeno, which is my best wing, or is it? Let's test that. So if we put on the Trailblazer, the team score goes down just by a little bit, so you know the Zeno is a little bit better than the Trailblazer in terms of team score, so you put that one on. Now if we go over to the Vagabond here and put that on, let's see, that increases our team score even more. So the Vagabond is going to be the best front wing for us to use up to the rear wing there. Let's put on the Patreon and see if that increases our team score. Yes, it does. Now can we find another part that's going to be increasing our team score a bit more than the Patreon? Not the Wasp. So you put back on your Patreon just like that, and then we have the Free Flare, and let's see if the Free Flare increases our team score. Yes, it does, by only 1 point. The Free Flare increases our team score over the Patreon by only 1 point, so we'll keep the 1 point extra because you want to get your best car setup on, so we're gonna go with that 1 point. Now as for the parts, the gear, you basically want to do the same thing. Just put on the part that increases your team score. All right, so we see our team score going back up with the Spectrum right there, but the Verdict is our best gear, and when we put that on, our team score goes up. And we'll do the same for the Brake. All right, so that's going to reduce our team score. And basically any part that with the pluses, with more pluses, is the part that you want to use. So we're gonna go now and put on our wild core, which is our best brake, and our max team score is 1451, and that would be our maximum setup that we would use in the GP events. All right, and that is basically how you should do to find your maximum setup to use in your GP events to give yourself a chance to get qualified for the final round. All right, so that's basically all the explanation I have for you guys here today in this one. Hopefully this one helps. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Use code word race down below to let me know that you made it to this portion of the video. Remember to smash that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Shout out Christopher Graves.
And they say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love.